All right. Let me see if we're on. If we are live. All right. Good evening, everybody. Today is day 10. And beyond that, I don't know if I think it's Monday and it's March. Today is March 9th. Okay. And despite the fact that this morning I was beginning to think that all of my updates were getting very repetitive because it was like, okay, this bombed this and this bombed that and this was on fire. And we think that they're going to collapse, but no, they're not going to collapse. And it's the same. Uh, Today actually turned out to be different after the initial after the morning news cycle, let's say, because yet again here in Jerusalem we are in another full day of zero sirens in Jerusalem. And I have said this before, but that belies the fact that there is escalation all around the country and all around the region. So let's start talking about it. So, first of all, cluster bombs, because no sooner did I upload a short that I recorded this morning talking about anything but this particular war and various other issues that have been going on, and we're not really paying attention necessarily. No sooner did I do that than uh, a, there was a launch alert. We get these alerts that there's been a launch of a missile from Iran, and then they clarify in the next message. It looks like it's going to the this, the that, the center, the north, the south, whatever. And then with that particular one, it ended up being a warhead it's called like cluster bomb, and it breaks into like 20 or so bomblets, little bombs of like 5 pounds each that go flying. And it's like, it looks like fireworks, actually. Like, it's coming, it's just this one thing. And then suddenly it goes like this, and there's like 20 pieces. And it's much harder to shoot down because there's a bunch of pieces, they're smaller, and then they go a lot faster. So it's very problematic for the Israeli defense systems. So went down, hit a neighborhood somewhere on like near Tel Aviv in that area, and two people were killed. And they happened to be two foreign workers. And that makes three foreign workers of the 13 or 14 casualties, not counting soldiers, but casualties from missiles so far in Israel during this war. Three of them are foreign workers. I think these two are from China. I'm not 100% sure. The first one was from the Philippines. And so that is crazy, but unbelievable damage. You have to see what kind of destruction these missiles do. Well, you see it in Iran as well, but crater in the ground, shrapnel across, like, for several meters in every direction. The cars look like they've been strafed with bullets, but it's extremely dangerous. So anyway, so that happened this afternoon, like early this afternoon or late this morning. And then from then, the tempo of missile barrages and also barrages from Hezbollah in southern Lebanon really picked up the tempo. And it went from feeling like, I'm telling you, like, it really depends, like who do you believe in the media, or which government is projecting more truth than others. But for a while, many of the pundits have been saying, like, oh yeah, Israel and America, they've taken out Iran's missiles, and they've taken out, and actually just reminded about a year ago that Israeli officials were saying, we set Hezbollah back 10 years. And then after the missiles and the rockets and the drones that we saw today, all of that is now in question. And I have been skeptical from the beginning as to whether this is going to be a really fast war where they just, end it. Israel aimed initially at the missile launcher sites. And at some point, I saw a number, I think they said they took out 60% of the launchers. And don't know if that's the case. We saw many launches today from Iran, and most of them, like I said, most of them are they're not coming to Jerusalem. They're going to the north and they're going to the center. Some are going to the south. And sometimes we get alerts that they might be in Jerusalem, but we haven't had sirens in 2 days. Let's see. Ohan has a question. Do you think that the U.S. will start a ground invasion? I don't think the U.S. will start a ground invasion, and especially not now. And especially not because of what I'm saying now, that I think that perhaps the talk of what has been destroyed and the destruction, maybe maybe it's not as much as it sounds like when you put it in a press release. Because when you put in a press release that we attacked 300 targets, that sounds like a lot. But when you look at the size of a country like Iran, and you look at the fact that they have been building a military for decades, then there's a lot to dismantle if that's the ultimate goal. So anyway, I have to say, I don't see a ground invasion benefiting like at this point. I don't even know where do they come in from, from the sea, or not Azerbaijan, I guess, not Armenia at this point. So anyway, and I'm sure Turkey won't let them. Yeah, so I do not see that. And do I think a nuclear attack will be launched at Iran? No, I don't think there will be a nuclear attack at this point. But I've been wrong before. So anyway, all right, let's talk about, let me find my notes here. Being kind to you and actually speaking with notes. Otherwise, I could be all over the place. Okay, so we're talking about the regional military escalation. Now, apparently there were air raid sirens in Cyprus again today. Turkey ever wishing to get involved? By the way, I didn't confirm whether there were air raid sirens, and I have decided, I've actually sworn off some sites where I used to get news from because they turn out to be either inaccurate or shrill. And so I've had to just shut them off. So anyway, so the air raid sirens in Cyprus, I don't know about, but what I do know about is that Turkey is sending warplanes to northern Cyprus, which they consider Turkish territory. I think that's something that's debated. It's not everybody agrees. I don't know. It's like unnegotiated, or what's the word? I can't think of the geopolitical word for that. But in any case, Turkey looks like they're itching to somehow get involved in this now, because also the other thing with Turkey was that there was apparently another missile. They condemned another missile being launched at them that was shot down. So it really looks like Turkey is itching to get involved. So we need to keep an eye on that. I just saw they posted an article I wrote about Azerbaijan getting involved, or not yet getting involved, but there was a drone that hit Azerbaijan. And so are they going to actually get involved? They made a lot of condemnations. They put their military on the border. But today, the president congratulated Mustafa Khamenei on his new job as the supreme leader of Iran. So I don't know. So in one sense they're condemning, and in the other sense they're congratulating. So that we've got to figure out. Okay, so U.S. Another soldier died. The U.S. has lost 7 soldiers. Israel has only lost 2. And that was in Lebanon, not in Iran. So the U.S., I think it's the USS Gerald Ford, the aircraft carrier, is in the Red Sea, and working with the USS Truman. And the speculation is that they will be there in case the Houthis in Yemen start launching missiles over the Red Sea. But the Houthis are very vocal about their opposition, but I surprisingly have not launched an attack, because it did not take much for them to launch attacks at Israel after October 7th, when they were like all in. So I don't know what are the considerations for them to hold back. Okay, so as far as just general what's been happening over the last couple of days, Israel does about 3 or 4 waves of airstrikes a day, like in a 24-hour period. And I mean, this is just what I can tell from their press releases. And it's not like I sat there and counted, but I feel like it's been like 3 or 4 a day, just from the alerts that I get. And they're attacking key centers, like it was oil facilities yesterday, and IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, they attacked the airfield, then the main command and control center, also other military targets, the Basij forces. Now, also, I think it was the U.S. or Israel, not sure, that damaged in a airstrike the nuclear facility in Isfahan. So anyway, that's all I heard about that. No details on that. Now, remember, we told you yesterday about the Iranian president apologizing to the Gulf states for having attacked them, and but saying, like, but hey, like, don't work with our enemies. Like, if you work with our enemies, and so kind of made some threats there. But then apparently the leadership in Iran was not happy with that and went to prove him wrong and to say sorry, not sorry, because there were still attacks today on Abu Dhabi, on Bahrain, I think Qatar, not 100% sure about that, but also Saudi Arabia. Now, the U.S. has told non-essential staff to get out of Saudi Arabia, so that's another thing. Now, here is also something that's going to be very interesting. Qatar, the Prime Minister of Qatar, Al Thani, said in an interview, I think it was a British outlet, but I don't know who it was. He said a few things. He said that the Gulf states feel, quote, a big sense of betrayal by Iran for actually attacking them. And he said that we were attacked from, like, within an hour of the war beginning, we were getting missiles and drones from Iran. Like, US and Israel start the war, and Iran starts within an hour attacking them. And he called that a major miscalculation that, quote, destroyed everything. So these are, listen, unless they're all playing us, which is always a possibility, so keep that in mind. It's always a possibility. Unless that, this really will impact future geopolitical relations in the region, depending on how it all shakes out with the war. So anyway, some U.S. news. Senator Lindsey Graham said in an interview that the next 2 weeks are going to be wait and see. And he also suggested that the regime is going to face collapse. So don't know. Anyway, again, like I said, each government postures differently, and so Lindsey Graham has been very forward since even before the war started, when it was in the time of threats and imminent attacks. Lindsey Graham was the one who was talking tough compared to a lot of other politicians. So that was very interesting. So he's still doing that. Okay, so some news, I don't know, you probably have missed a little bit. You've missed Gaza news, I'm sure, because that was the only news that there was for so long. And now suddenly nobody hears about Gaza, nobody's reading about it. But I came across really interesting news report from Jusor, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, that a Palestinian peace activist who has said that Palestinians should make peace with Israel, and he's also extremely critical of Hamas. He was arrested by Hamas and tortured, and now is recovering from his wounds. His name is Ashraf Nasser. He advocated for peace, for normalization. He also criticized Hezbollah. So now a lot of Gazans are also criticizing Iran, like, you got us into this war. There's some reports. I'm not saying this is a majority of Gazans. I'm not saying this is popular Palestinian opinion, but some Gazans are criticizing Iran for getting them into the situation they're in now, which is that they're living in tents, and it's winter and it's really cold. And that, I mean, beyond cold, I mean, it's like not livable, like it's inhumane living conditions right now. So anyway, so that's going on. Let's see what else in other Palestinian news. Since the start of this war, which is only 10 days, there's been an uptick in violence between Israeli settlers and Palestinians, and 6 Palestinians have been killed, 3 just on Sunday, and 2 of them were shot in the head. So the IDF condemned violence, and they said, right now we're trying to sort out an external war. The last thing we need is the internal. So anyway, so we'll see what happens with that, because that is something that usually there's more focus, there's more international focus, but now the focus is all on Iran. It's all on the big stuff. All right, let me see. I have more stuff. Okay, so we've been talking about the new Ayatollah, and Iran has its mojo on. Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the Ayatollah who was killed on the first day of the war by Israel, he has been appointed the new Ayatollah. Now, very interesting, because reports are that he's injured, and I cannot confirm that. I don't think you can really confirm anything that unless it's the Mossad or the CIA. I don't think we can confirm any of this, but apparently he's injured. By the way, apparently, let me look this up for a second. Apparently, he and his family are worth between, come on, where's the number? Something like, let me get the number because it's shocking, 200 billion. 200 billion. They're saying between 95 billion to 200 billion. Can you tell me what they are doing sitting in Iran, in Tehran, waiting for now this guy, he's next on the hit list. What are they doing with this much money? Like what? Like, anyway, apparently property in London on what they call Millionaires Row, but somewhere between 95 billion and 200 billion. I wish I was reading that wrong, but look it up. Google it. Google, net worth Khamenei. But let's go back to Mojtaba. He's the son. He lost, apparently, his father and mother, his wife, and a child, and I think another sibling in this missile, the Israeli strike that killed his father, took out his father. And now he wasn't necessarily, like, nobody knew. I think what I'm understanding is it wasn't clear that he was the heir apparent to the supreme leader throne. It was only that he was very involved with the Revolutionary Guard Corps and with internal security. Now, people are calling him a hardline conservative, and many people are predicting he's going to be a lot worse than his father. So I don't know. The other thing to note, though, is that he's a lot younger. He's I mean, he's 57. So if you're supreme leader until you die, then he has a lot. It's like choosing a pope. The younger the pope is, the longer you've got him for. So unless other things happen, if you see on all over TikTok, everywhere where you can get like the videos, there are like these, like the Arab world has put out all these hilarious videos, not hilarious, of people of putting the next leader in the chair as supreme leader, and then explosion. And then finally they get to like the last one, and he's like, no, no, I don't want it. I don't want the job. I don't want the job. I don't want. They're like, no, you have to take it. And he puts him down. Because over the last couple years, largely attributed to Israel, several of these leaders have been assassinated in bunkers that nobody knows of. Like people that don't even come up for air, like Hassan Nasrallah of Hezbollah, Ismail Haniyeh, Hamas, was in Tehran. And, nobody, I don't think Israel took credit for that, but he was killed in his hotel room at 2 a.m. or something like that. And it was also for an event that couldn't have been predicted. It was either like the funeral of or the inauguration of the president, something like that. So anyway, that's what they're saying about the new Ayatollah. All right. So now just to talk about these cluster type missiles, because I wonder if there's a connection. It's not like Iran hasn't done this before, but people were talking about a reduction in the launches. But today, after the new Ayatollah was announced last night, today was a big day. Like overnight, many missiles launched at various parts of Israel, and also today. And I wonder if the two events are connected. Like, I wonder if this is a show of force. Like, hey, I'm the new Ayatollah, and I'm going to launch a lot of missiles at you. And I've got these cluster munitions, or cluster missile warheads, or, that are very destructive. So I don't know. As well, in addition to that, Hezbollah has launched so like today was nonstop in terms of drones and missiles. And also somebody reported, again unconfirmed, that they launched some more accurate ones, like a ground to ground missile. And some of Hezbollah stuff went as south as Tel Aviv. So whoever said that we sent them back 10 years may be wrong. There was something else I was going to say about this. Oh, yeah, just the different reactions in Iran. So you may have seen what was released by Iranian media, which were people rejoicing over the new Ayatollah and saying, Allahu Akbar, and he's great. And then they were saying death to Israel. And of course, that is what was put out, like a strong show of support for the new Ayatollah. But there were other videos that were leaked that people were out of their apartment buildings yelling from their balconies, death to Mojtaba Khamenei. And whoa. Yeah. Let me check my phone alerts, but not. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. I didn't even get that there was a launch. Actually, right now. Well, to the center. No, just the news. Okay, so sorry. When you hear that noise that you may or may not have heard from the TV, you check every device because there could be a launch. So anyway, Iranians who weren't happy with the regime before are not going to be happy with it now. So, all right, let me go back up here because there are a bunch of questions. Okay, so somebody was asking, no, I'm not in Tel Aviv, if that's what you're asking. And hi, Mary, as well. And I think this is Mike. you saw a video that the new leader has slim chance of taking over. You mean, oh, maybe as Amy put it, last man standing appointment. Natasha, good to see you too. Yes. So, so you're bringing up now the new guy, Moshtaba, who lost his family. Now it's so interesting because that's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, like he would want revenge. So I was watching, Patrick Bit David. He had a debate with his panel, and one of them was saying that he's going to be, conciliatory now because he lost his family. And I was like, you don't know the Middle East. Like, no, he wants revenge. He's got nothing to live for now. So anyway, I didn't agree with his assessment. Hi, Marcia. Thank you. All right. So here's another video that I saw today. An Iranian soldier. And again, there's no way to independently verify this. I don't know who he is. His face was blurred out. I can't even verify it's not AI or that it came from Iran, but it's not the only report I've heard, which is why I'm going to tell you that in the video he was saying that the military is falling apart and commanders have fled, fearing airstrikes. Soldiers are sleeping outside camps to avoid bombings, and that the morale is extremely low among the regular soldiers. And that exactly lines up with what that article that I wrote, where I interviewed people who have networks of contacts in Iran, and they said the same thing. So it lines up. But, the news, it really depends on your source. Like, for instance, I interviewed these two people and everything they said lines up with other things that I've heard. And then I've got other news sources that are saying the exact opposite, like, oh, it's not going to crumble. The regime's not going to fall. It's stronger than ever. And I'm just like, give up. Okay. I mean, only God knows, and others that are not us. Okay. So, Diane, you saw me on CBN. That was so cool. That's awesome. That was a great interview. Okay. Did your daughter dye her hair purple? No, not yet. Not yet. They moved on from hair. Now the issue is snacks. And it's like a divine right of our children, since they aren't going to school and since they have to be waken up by sirens. It's a divine right now, not a privilege, a right, that they have snacks. And if I hear the word snacks again, I might lose it, because snacks, can I buy snacks? Can I buy? Oh, we're gonna watch a movie, can we buy snacks? Oh, I'm gonna do my homework, can I buy snacks? I'm gonna move this box from here to here, can I buy snacks? Like, everything like demands a snack. Like, I'm very confused. Anyway, so the snack thing, the snack budget's out of control. And that just reminds me, if you want to support my work or my snacks, you can go to my Substack, and you can sign up there, and that would be great. Anyway, but my Substack is in the YouTube link, in the YouTube description, and then you can sign up. And I keep saying, and I'm going to write, and I need to, but anyway, I'm keep writing articles, not Substacks. Okay. Janice, I saw a clip that they used a picture of the new Supreme leader's installation. And then Natasha says, snacks are certainly a shrine. Oh my gosh, like a shrine. Yes, give them a bottle of water when they say snack. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've tried that. We're also running out of juice. Like, we don't have soda in the house, but juice. Oh my gosh. Like, I think I should make them also fast for Ramadan. By the way, there's sirens going off right now. Not here. In the north, but also the coast. So you guys are funny, by the way. All right. Now, a couple of more things. I'm not going to get deeply into this, but the whole Strait of Hormuz and the global economic risk. Oh, by the way, let's see. Sometimes you can see the interceptions or hear them. So I'll leave it open for a little while until we freeze. Okay, so you know that Iran has blocked the Strait of Hormuz, and so everybody's concerned. And you know the price of oil has gone up. Do you hear it? No.
You're waiting to hear the bones?
Yeah, just in case, you know. So that is, you know, an oil crisis on the way. Also, by the way, a food possible food crisis specifically for the Gulf states right now because almost all their food is imported. So if that's blocked and if they can't get their food in, anyway, that will be that's going to eventually be an issue. Now, how that affects the rest of the world, though, not just the Gulf, is that fertilizer apparently comes from the Gulf states. And if the fertilizer can't get to even North America, then the North American farms who need to start planting, if they need fertilizer now, not going to happen. It would only, you know, maybe they have it for now, which, like, I guess it's almost planting season. Don't talk to me, I'm from New York. But I guess it would be the time and they would need the fertilizer. By the way, we just heard one.
I don't think that was out there.
No way.
That was the door.
No, I felt it here. But it
Oh,
could have been the
wow.
door. It could have also been, by the way, that thing that we thought was an explosion or an interception could have just been somebody slamming the door in the building. Anyway, so more to come on that in the global economic possible crisis. And last but not least, do you guys know about the Iranian girls soccer team? How old are these girls? They look young. They look like teenagers.
No, they're probably in their 20s.
Is that it or not it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
I don't think, I mean, you have to, I don't think you can hear it.
No,
I
you
don't think
probably,
they can hear
you
it.
guys probably can't hear it, but we can hear it. So the Iranian girls soccer team that was at a game in Australia, they did not sing their national anthem. They just stood there during the national anthem. And now there have been death threats against them. They were called traitors in Iran. They know that going back means a possible death sentence. So from around the world, people are rallying to try to get them asylum and for Australia to not send them back. But it's I don't know if it's happening or not. So that is definitely something to watch because Australia did not officially comment on that and say what they were going to do. But the girls' families who are in Iran have been threatened, and the girls will definitely come under threat if they go back. I just see Jennifer says, "What am I listening for?" Jennifer, we hear the sirens right here. I mean, not the sirens, we hear the interceptions. By the way, this is the news I was just talking about. Oops. That's the team. Well, this guy is saying lack of respect. So anyway, yeah, so Jen, we were listening for the rockets, the missiles from Iran being intercepted. And can you hear it from where you're at? We can hear it. We hear it pretty much all the time. So, oh, and hello from Michigan. Awesome. Very awesome. And Joy. Very cool.
Nick Brown had a question for you.
No, there were no sirens, Jen. It was just the interceptions you can hear. So Tony, who is monitoring better than me, said that Nick Brown has a question. Can you tell me? Because I can't find it.
You happen to be the editor for the Oracle.
Yes. Wait, is Nick on now?
Yes.
Nick, yes. I know who you are. Oh my gosh. I don't see the comment,
It's on Facebook.
but I don't see it. I just went through the whole, scrolled through the whole thing and I don't see it.
You gotta pay.
Yes, this is Nicole. Yes, yes. This is Nick Schiavi. Do you remember? I think that's more or less how I was known there, by my last name. But yeah, very cool. And are you still in Nebraska? See? I remember. Anyway, all right. Well, that's all the news I have. Do I have more news?
Deva is asking a question.
I don't see Deva.
Yep, she's on. She said we can't.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Now I see Deva. I still need to see neck. You can't hear it, but shouldn't you be in a shelter? No, that's just the no. I'll tell you how it works. We don't have to be in a shelter. We just happen to hear the interceptions. Small country issue, I guess. But what do you call it? We get a alert, usually a pre-alert. First, they can tell that rockets have been launched from Iran. Somehow it's detected. And so actually I see it in the news first. And then after that, they determine to where it's headed in the country. And then you will see, like, if it's coming to your area, you will get a startling ring on your phone that will make you jump and you'll be at attention. And then from there, you know that it's probably coming to your area. But then to be even more precise, only if you get sirens after that, which is like within the next 5 minutes, you might get sirens, then you go to a shelter. So even if you just get that alert, you don't have to go to the shelter. But as far as the interception, so here's what's interesting. I mean, the interceptions are sometimes happening over us. So maybe that's dangerous, but trust me, they would have said something. Now, here's something else to know is that all day this was unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Wait, where's my water?
Right here.
Oh, right behind my computer. Okay. Jen, you can't silence the jarring alarm. You need it. Wait, and also
Nick Brown knows you.
Yeah, but I don't see Nick's comments.
Well,
okay. All right. So Joy, we met in 2004 when I lived with Annie. I went to summer camp. Oh my gosh. No, but Joy, I know. I remember meeting you. Yeah, but I forgot about the Oklahoma connection, the camp. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So you know Emily.
But Joy Clark, didn't you live in this?
Yes, Joy's here. I know Joy from here, but I forgot about that connection. So, okay, so this is unbelievable. Now, kids are not at school. There's no school. It's all distance learning.
So
very fun.
Saturday, yeah,
fun stuff. So distance learning, and we're whatever. So they're talking about when are they going to reopen schools? They sent people back to work, left their kids at home. Just kidding, kind of. It was a little bit, doesn't make sense, but that's kind of what's happening. And then today I told you about the deadly missile attack in which 2 people were killed. In the same hour that this news was breaking, there was other news breaking, which said school is going to reopen on Wednesday. And I was like, is this not the most tone deaf thing you've ever heard? Like, you just said that the attack was deadly and 2 people were killed. And now you are saying the kids are going back to school. I was like, I mean, tell me that when there were fewer attacks. Sure, Jerusalem, we haven't heard a siren for 2 days. Okay, great. That kind of makes sense. But there's alarms going off in the rest of the country. 2 people were just killed. You're telling me the cluster bombs are even more deadly and dangerous and harder to shoot down. And now, hey, kids are going back to school Wednesday. So everybody's like, all right, should we be happy because they're going to go? Or should we be like panicked? Or is that irresponsible? Or is that a relief? Hard to answer, right? And then I knew, I've learned this in the past, like, you just don't get excited and upset because they're going to change it anyway. So we're sitting here, news is like already halfway over, and suddenly you get this alert. Homefront Command has decided all restrictions that are in place now will be extended through Saturday night. So there's no school.
But wait a minute, do the parents still have to go to work?
Yes. Yes, parents have to go to work.
Oh, God.
But they
That's
are
so bad.
saying if your kids are 14 and under,
Yeah.
you can stay home on unpaid leave, paid leave.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank God I don't have that problem.
Ooh, you got,
So-
did you give a shout out to Bernadette?
I didn't see Bernadette. I don't see Bernadette.
Bernadette says the kids are in the ravenous, hungry phase of development. Give them healthy snacks.
I try to give them
Good
healthy
luck.
snacks.
Good luck.
Bernadette, good luck. They actually go, like, I order on what do you call it? I order groceries on an app, and they go in and they put ramen in there. Like, that's their meal. Like, I've actually cooked more since the war started than I have for probably the 12 past months, and I don't think they have actually eaten in the house one time. They ate ramen and they ate snacks.
Oh God, what's wrong with it? Terrible.
But anyway, I see that Clover is saying we have a ORU journalism reunion, and that is so funny. Yes, because Natasha, Clover, well, Nick in some ways, though maybe not journalism. And wait, who else? Is there somebody else? That's so funny. Anyway, and Lynn, formerly at KKCJ in the 2000s near Vancouver, Canada. Oh my gosh. Oh, we were just supposed to have a friend not visit us, but come here on business from Vancouver. And it was canceled. His flight was canceled. So anyway, thank you very much, Lynn. I appreciate it. All right. Think I outdid myself today. I have nothing left to say. I actually have come to the end of this with zero news left in me, and then I'll think of a million things once I hit end. But I'm done with the live for tonight. I was getting nervous that things are repetitive, and apparently they're not repetitive because there's just so many new things every day that it's a little mind blowing. And part of that has to do with the fact that there's like 15 countries involved. I was thinking about like covering the Israel-Hamas war. It was a very localized, concentrated group, let's say, or locale. And also that meant that following the news reports was only the Israeli news reports or Palestinian news reports, pretty much, or talking to Israelis or talking to Palestinians. Then, of course, it expanded and there was Hezbollah. So good luck trying to find out, like Lebanon, like I had to find Lebanese sources and find out what they're saying. And then Iran. And then with Iran, it was like opening a pomegranate. You just keep peeling and finding more and more fruit. And that is kind of like what I feel with Iran right now is like there's so many layers to understanding the country and the politics. And I found my sources and I trust, but I still don't know everything about Iran. I do know that the state-run media is not reliable necessarily. I don't know if I'm getting all the facts from them. But also with the opposition groups, I also don't know if I can trust all the opposition groups. So then attacks on the United Arab Emirates and on Bahrain and Qatar and Saudi Arabia, then you have to go through all of their local channels to find out what they're saying. And then it expanded to Turkey and Azerbaijan. And it's like just endless, and it's just an endless trail of information. And I really hope that we're getting to the truth of it. It's not simple, definitely not simple. This is probably the most complicated of the, or vast of the issues of wars that I've covered from this region. So anyway, on that note,
No,
I'm gonna go get some snacks for the kids.
no, we're gonna get snacks for us.
I'll get snacks. We're gonna get snacks.
wait,
And
wait.
look, Joy also went to ORU.
Yes,
This
that's
is really
right.
cool, guys. This is like we literally are having a reunion. Well, I'm not making it to Tulsa anytime soon. Clover, you're not in, so I think only Natasha is in Tulsa at the moment, right? So anyway, if we ever do a reunion, you know what they say next year in Jerusalem, but I can't guarantee there won't be a war. So on that note, guys, thanks. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoy talking to all of you. So come back and have a great day, great evening, wherever you are. Thank you. And thank you, Deva. Thank you, Mike.
Right.
All right. Oh, and Tony reminds me, subscribe to the YouTube channel for alerts so you find out when I am going live. I'm actually doing shorts every day with like a 1 minute update. Oh, they go to Facebook too. But anyway, you can subscribe for alerts on YouTube and also to my Substack, because there will be, I'm going to take a different tone there. And anyway, you'll see. We'll see where we take it. The war's got to calm down a little bit, and then I'll go forward on that. Oh, that's right. Deva also in Oklahoma. Oh my gosh. All right. All right, guys. This has been fun. Ciao. Have a good night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.